Hi, today is day 13 of 33 Days to Morning Glory. Let's start. St. Maximilian didn't just want to ask for graces from the Immaculata. He wanted to be the graces of the Immaculata. He didn't just want to do the will of the Immaculata, he wanted to be the will of the Immaculata. Wait, be the graces and the will of the Immaculata? Isn't that a bit too much? Not according to Kolbe's reasoning. He figured, well, if people can give themselves over to Satan to be possessed by him and be his instruments of evil, why can't people give themselves over to God to be possessed by him and be his instruments of love? He further reasoned that more than anyone, the Immaculata possessed by the Holy Spirit. So why not ask to be possessed by her, so as to be perfectly united to God's will? In other words, it wasn't enough for him just to be Mary's slave, as St. Louis de Montfort often put it. He wanted something deeper. He wanted to be part of an instrument in the hands of the Immaculata. To be an instrument in the hands of the Immaculata, this is the central theme to Kolbe's whole vision of Marian Consecration. Thus, he writes it directly into his prayer consecration. Let me be a fit instrument in your immaculate and merciful hands. To what purpose? The conversion of the entire world. Is Kolbe getting a little carried away? I mean, what can one person do? But this gets to his main point, his master strategy. His own peace wasn't the only part in his master plan. In fact, he wanted to rise up a whole army of fighting knights and soldiers who give themselves to be instruments in the graceful hands of the Immaculata. He wanted to build a militia Immaculata, which he describes as follows. The knights of the Immaculata seek to become ever more truly the property of the Immaculata, to belong to her in ever more perfect and under every aspect without exception. They wish to develop their understanding of what it means to belong to her, so they may enlighten, reinvigorate, and set on fire the souls living in their own environment, and make themselves similar. They desire to conquer these souls for the Immaculata, so that in every turn they belong to her without reserve, and may in this manner win an ever greater number of souls to her. May win the entire world, in fact, and do so in the shortest time possible. What genius! Notice the brilliant logic that undergirds Kolbe's whole strategy. If we really love God, if we truly long to work for his kingdom, then we should find the quickest and easiest way to become saints, and thereby return to him. Now, the quickest and easiest way to do this, as we learn from de Montfort, is through Marian Consecration. Yet Kolbe takes it further. He didn't just stop with himself. He didn't keep the great saint-making secret to himself. Look at it this way. What is better, one saint or two? 1,000 saints or 1,000,000? Think of what 1,000,000 saints fully consecrated to Mary could do. Imagine if Mary had 1,000,000 instruments through whom she could fulfill the perfect will of God. It's an amazing thought. So Kolbe exclaims, teach others this way. Conquer more souls for the Immaculata. If this is the quickest and easiest way to become a saint, then it is also the quickest and easiest way to conquer the whole world for Christ, if only we teach others about it. So Kolbe says, let's get to work. Yes, let's begin by learning to live this consecration ourselves, and then bring others into it. Okay, so first things first. We need to learn to live this consecration to the Immaculata. We need to belong to her in an ever more perfect way. How do we do this? Simple. We learn to love the Immaculata. How? By relying on her powerful intercession, experiencing her tender care, speaking to her from our own hearts, letting ourselves be led by her, and having recourse to her in all things, trusting her completely. Yes, we should especially trust in the Immaculata and be happy in her. We should follow the example of Kolbe, related to us by one of his religious brothers. When things were going well, he rejoiced with all his heart, with everyone, fervently thanked the Immaculata for the graces received through her intercession. When things went badly, he was still happy and used to say, "Why should we be sad? Doesn't the Immaculata, our little mother, know everything that's going on?" Tomorrow, we'll learn about Kolbe's form of consecration to our little mother. Today, let's end by reflecting on his words. My dear, dear brothers, our dear little mother, the Immaculate Mary, can do anything for us. We are her children. Turn to her. She will overcome everything. For today's reflection, let's think about how love and trust are always partners. Learning to love the Immaculate takes a great deal of trust, which involves dependence on her intercession, letting ourselves be led by her, accepting her direction, speaking our prayers to her directly from our hearts. What experiences of trust, becoming dependent on someone, and taking directions from him or her have you had in the past? Can you think of priests? Can you think of your parents, your friends that you love and trust? Do you look forward to these experiences of dependence on Mary as well? Let's conclude with today's prayer. Come, Holy Spirit, living in Mary, prepare me to be a fit instrument in the hands of the Immaculata. Thanks.